race fans, welcome to my little show about racing I like to call In the Pits. And with me, StockCar Scott. And as always, In the Pits is brought to you each and every week when I feel like it by Monte Carlo Express Delivery. Monte Carlo Express Delivery has been serving the courier needs of the Puget Sound area for over a decade. Please like us there on Facebook. Okay, this past weekend was racing at Talladega, and I'm sure everyone knows that I'm quite happy, but let's follow the chronological format that I have established for this show over the past 24 episodes. So we will start with Friday. Friday was practice for NASCAR at Talladega. Yeah, Talladega, my favorite track there. And then after practice was an ARCA race. Yeah, the Automobile Racing Club of America had a 200-mile race. But we'll talk about that in just a second. First, it was practice. And not a whole lot happened during practice, but I had to watch every lap. You know, I guess the biggest thing that happened during practice was that the announcement was made that GoDaddy will be going away from Danica Patrick as a main sponsor. I think they have some sort of spokesperson deal they want to still maybe keep her with, but not the type of money that it takes to put a car on the track. So, of course, she's going to be looking for a new sponsor between now and next season. We'll see how that goes. Of course, glued to the set, watching every lap of practice, everything there at Talladega, because of my favorite track in my home state of Alabama. Later, at 3, was the ARCA International Motorsports Hall of Fame 200. Where's the International Motorsports Hall of Fame? There on the grounds of Talladega. And if you ever go to a race there, be sure to check it out. It's full of a bunch of wonderful stuff from all sorts of different types of racing, not just NASCAR, because it's international motorsports. So, my favorite ARCA driver there, Grant Enfinger, did fairly well in the first part of the race there in his number 23 Chevrolet. But he got caught up in a wreck around lap 66 with Will Kimmel and Clay Campbell. Now, Clay Campbell is in Kenny Schrader's number 52 Federated Auto Parts Camry. And he is the 55-year-old owner of the Martinsville Speedway, which is the oldest track on NASCAR's schedule. And the track has been in his family since it was built. So, the International Motorsports Hall of Fame 200 was eventually won by young Blake Jones of Sevierville, Tennessee, in his number 22 Dodge. The announcer on TV called it, Sevierville, I do believe, Sevierville, and we from the South know that one because it is the gateway to the Smoky Mountains, where you go to visit Pigeon Forge and Dollywood there. So he's from that area of Tennessee. Smoky Mountains may not be the kind of mountains that we got around here, but mountains, though, nonetheless, what we call them back home. So, anyway, Saturday was qualifying for Nationwide, for Xfinity, and for Cup, and they qualified in a new style, which is actually the old style of qualifying, just sped up a little bit. So instead of having the packs out there like they did, which was madness on the restrictor plate tracks, now they send them out one at a time, but a whole lot more quickly, where there's more than one car on the track, but they're not close enough to each other to affect each other's speeds. So qualifying got through a lot quicker. It was a lot more interesting to watch, and I liked it because, hey, Junior qualified 4th. You know, that was great. And with his 80th career pole. The old man, Jeff Gordon, showed him how to do it there. It was really nice. And after that, Gordon went into the booth, into the old announcing booth, and did commentary for the Xfinity race, the 300-mile race that they ran later that afternoon. So we can maybe guess what maybe Jeffy's going to do there in his retirement next year. Maybe he's going to get him a job talkifying there at the races. So we'll just have to see. And maybe DW will retire from the booth, and we won't have to put up with boogity 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 anymore. So we'll just have to see what they do, but I'm just pretty sure that television is in Jeff Gordon's future. The Xfinity race, 300 miles, started out very well with two of my favorites, the Dillon brothers, Austin and Ty, on the front row in their number 33 and number 3 RCR Camaros. And even though Austin was on the pole, Ty led the first lap and a couple of dozen more throughout the race with his finish of 8th place. Now the race had a late restart that bunched up the field for what would be an exciting finish that was missed by me and many other people up here in the Northwest that are on Xfinity and Comcast. It just fizzled out there right at the end of the race. Really was not pleasant. And it phased back in long enough, though, for me to see that Joker Logano in his number 22 Discount Tires Mustang had won, but I couldn't tell you exactly how that happened. But the cable did come back on right there, like I said, at the end, and the first commercial after the race was an Xfinity commercial. The ad about how when it rains, DirecTV drops out, you lose your picture, you don't get to watch your NASCAR when it rains on DirecTV. Well, how about this, folks? Xfinity goes out, looks like when the sun shines. So, I don't know which is worse. Anyway, it dropped out again later in the evening. I had a recorder set up to record the Denny Hamlin charity race that was supposed to be played that evening. He runs a race every year from South Boston, Virginia, and NBC SN was showing that one, and didn't get to see it because it dropped out. But they're showing it tonight, so after I get done here, I get to watch not only the Denny Hamlin charity race, but also the K&N West race from Tucson. See how that one turned out last Saturday night. Of course, the reason I had to try to record it was we went down to South Sound for the 100-lap super late model race that was there, along with super 4-cylinder late models and the Legends and also the Bumblebees. Let me give me a drink here. Kind of early, but anyway. The Legends had a really nice car count, and their main was won by Garrett Archer in what looks to be the old number 4 of Parker Stevens. Chris Brannon in his number 71 won the Bumblebee main, where they had to negotiate a tractor tire in the backstretch. Not always successfully either. Next up was the FSCRA, the Foreign Sports Car Racing Association Super 4 late model race. And that was a pretty interesting race. I can only imagine those cars have to be momentum raced, almost like restrictor plate stock cars there. It looks like the drivers really have to keep their foot in it, even in the corners. Number 29, Max Schroeder, won the main, but it looked like heat winner number 10, John Grosvenor might have caught Max with a few more laps there. The big 100-lap super late model feature ran quickly with only one late caution. The number 9 of Kelly Mann, who had earlier set a new track super late model qualifying record of 13.419 seconds, lined up fourth after the invert, but worked his way up to the front, passing pole sitter number 12, Dan Obrist, by lap 39. Mann dominated the remainder of the contest, with number 17, Bob Presley, finishing second to the number 9. Other race fans told me before I got there to expect Kelly Mann to run well, as he had won both of the twin mains a few weeks ago there at South Sound Speedway, and run well he did. So there was a lot less cautions and a lot of less non-racing time to waste there last Saturday night. So it was over a lot sooner than the previous race, or the previous weekend's Wreck Fest. So we were home kind of early, even home before midnight, which was nice. So I was nice and well rested for the next day of watching Talladega on Sunday on TV. Yeah, did I mention yet that Talladega is my favorite track? Yeah, before the race, DW had a nice sit-down talk with Dale Jr. Interestingly enough, all he aspired to do in his youth was to be a technician at his father's Chevrolet dealership. And now he wins Sprint Cup races and challenges for Sprint Cup championships. Wow, set your goals low, folks, and you're bound to bust them. That's exactly what he did. He probably owns his own dealership now. So anyway, and when he did, folks, leading the most laps, making aggressive moves to get to the front, Dale Jr. made me a very happy Dale Jr. and Junior Nation fan by winning for the first time in over a decade at Talladega, my favorite track. And that was his 6th win there, folks, there at Talladega, and hopefully there are a whole bunch more to come in the future. I'd love to see him win there again in person, because I have seen him win there in the past. Maybe this fall, but I digress. Jeff Gordon, the old man, led everybody to the green for the 80th time in his career. To his outside was his Hendricks teammate of Casey Kane from Enumclaw. Starting third was Ryan Blaney in the Wood Brothers famed number 21 Ford, and next to that rookie was the ultimate winner of the Geico 500, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jimmy Johnson started 5th, and beside him was 3-time champion Smoke Tony Stewart, who led some laps earlier and was looking really good, looking a lot better than he has in a while. Hopefully things will keep improving for Smoke. The first yellow came out when Brian Scott, no relation to StockCar Scott, blew an engine and then spun in his own oil, crashing into Michael Waltrip, who was doing a one-off race in his Aaron's Dream Machine number 55 Toyota Camry. So his day didn't go very well. The next big one was, that was just a little one, but in lap 47, the big one happened when, in the backstretch, when the number 6 Roush Mustang of Trevor Bayne got loose, and folks just started crashing and spinning and wrecking all over the place. Turned the backstretch into a junkyard for a little while, and they had to throw out the red flag to clean it up. Now, afterwards, Junior and Jimmy Johnson did a lot of the leading and running up front until that next caution. During this time, Harvick was able to run up front. He had already led a lap before the crash and sustained some crash damage to the front of his car, so he was able to run up front and push other drivers even though he wasn't able to lead himself. But by halfway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was beginning to dominate the Geico 500 in his Nationwide Chevrolet, and it looked like he really had the insurance to win. After speeding on pit row during a caution for Austin Dillon's burning number 3 Chevrolet, Jeff Gordon had to restart in the back and never recovered. With that restart, it was all Dale Jr. for the rest of the race, which was fine by me, folks. Dale Jr. held off all comers to the checkers, and even though on the last lap cars were spinning and wrecking in the back stretch, NASCAR allowed them to race and did not throw the yellow like it did at Daytona. And then Junior wins! Junior wins! Junior wins! And the best part, folks, the best part is now Dale Jr. is in the chase. And his win pulls him up to 5th in the points, but points are just a formality now. As long as he stays in the top 30, he is in the chase, folks. He's in the chase. Junior's in the chase. So, put that out of my mind for a while. Harvick still leads the points and has his 2 wins, but who cares? Junior won! Hey, hey, hey! This coming weekend, NASCAR is at Kansas, which is a good track for Jeff Gordon. First off there, Friday, is the Camping World Trucks, and Sprint Cup is there for a 400-mile event on Saturday night. Both races are on Fox Sports 1. I hope you have it. Fox Sports 1 at about 5 o'clock Friday and 4 o'clock Saturday there for each race. Also on TV this weekend on NBCSN Sportsnet is the Spanish Grand Prix F1 races again this weekend. We will get to see if Lewis Hamilton can maintain his domination, or will the resurgent Ferrari continue to challenge with 4-time champion Sebastian Vettel. We'll just have to see. Ought to be good. But locally, South Sound will have late models, mini stocks, hobby stocks, baby grands, and Stinger 8s. And also they have a special $5 admission price for all moms because it's Mother's Day weekend. Let me get that plug in there for moms. Everybody remember your mom this weekend, please. So, Evergreen is also having a special price of $10 for adults, and kids under 10 get in free because, again, it is Frontier Communications Family Night at the races. And it is also Military Appreciation Night there at Evergreen Speedway. So military folks get in with their ID. They get a family pass. So you can't beat that, folks. Good entertainment out there. So both the racetracks here are having specials. Go out and see some racing this weekend. The weather is supposed to be wonderful. Oh, before I forget, at Evergreen, we're going to be cheering on Molly, Andy, and Brandon there for a win, hopefully, in the 75-lap super late model race. Also on the lineup there, they're having mini stocks, Hornets, I guess that's their Bumblebees, Hornets, Bumblebees, and their Stinger 8s, and their Street Stock Series. So I'm looking forward to seeing Scott Burby do well in the mini stocks, and also Chad do well there running in the number 12 in the street stock. So we'll be cheering them on. So that's it for the show this week, folks. Now, just to let you know, just to give you an idea of how much I love motorsports to the virtual exclusion of all other sports, I did not know that Tiger Woods and Lindsey Vonn were even dating. So I was quite surprised to hear that this week when they broke up. But anyway, racing this weekend. Be sure to get out there. Oh, let me mention one last thing. Evergreen Speedway, I hear number 70 of the racing pastor out there, Jeff Knight, won his first race in a late model this season. So, way to go, Pastor Jeff. And like I said, hopefully I'll see some of y'all race fans out there at Evergreen Speedway this weekend for the Frontier Communications Family Night at the races on Saturday. But if you don't see me out there, you know you can see me here next week, because I'm StockCar Scott, and this is In the Pits. But I'm not in the pits. I'm not down. I'm feeling great because Junior won. Dale Jr. won Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won Talladega. All right, folks, at my favorite track. So, until next week. Junior won! See y'all folks next time.